Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Joe CP back here again with another video, and today I'll be breaking down Gun Bunch, and actually I'm going to be breaking down Dollar 326 and the perfect defense in Weekend League. This is going to be part of our series, the 515 series. If you guys go ahead and get 100 likes for the next video, we can go ahead and drop something else, maybe some tight slots defense or something else, but I want to go ahead and drop Bunch for you guys. I know a lot of guys in Weekend League watch a lot of Ultimate League, watch the top players all the time, so you know they're going to be running Gun Bunch. I want to go ahead and show you guys a couple of different things in Dollar that you guys can do to go ahead and lock down the Gun Bunch. Now, the number one thing I would say is this defense is great in all Madden regs. Now, if you guys don't know, all Madden regs is 91 zone everywhere. So if you're playing Weekend League, hopefully you guys have 6 DBs that have 91 zone. Put them in the slots and make sure you're good to go. I like to, of course, use your bar. It doesn't really matter, though. You're going to need someone fast because you're going to be looping sometimes. Let me show you guys a couple of defenses that I like to run versus this. And this is versus New England playbook. Now, I know that West Coast has a couple of different plays, mesh post and dig HB out, but I'm going to show you guys defenses in general that I feel really, really confident about. If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out the other string of videos that I have dropped. I just dropped a outside run video, how to stop stretching on stuff like that, so check this out. Like I said, this is going to be 5 and 15. If you guys go ahead and get 100 likes, we'll go ahead and drop another video as soon as possible. Make sure to keep dropping suggestions because I'm going to start knocking these out one by one. I promise you, once I do one, I go ahead and get on a roll. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and break down personnel. You want 2 good man corners on the outside, so like Lattimore and Deion Sanders. It doesn't really matter for the free safety and strong safety. You want a good D-line because sometimes you'll be sending 3 with the 96 zone. Sometimes you'll be sending 2 or 1. It doesn't really matter. And then you can go ahead and have yourself nice users. So first play I'm going to come out in is a cover 3 sky press. Now there's a couple of different things that's great about Bunch. One, it can beat almost every single coverage in the game automatically if you come out in anything like corner strike, for example, to be completely honest with you. If you go ahead and press X on corner strike. And what I like to do automatically coming out of the gate is I'm going to go ahead and baseline. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to press right here. I'm going to deep half both my corners. So to deep half both of your corners, you're going to go triangle, triangle, circle, and then right stick. Triangle, triangle, X, and then right stick, as you guys can see. So that means they're not going to get beat deep. You make sure you don't press. You're not going to go ahead and get beat deep on the left side of the field. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and man up R1, which is going to be triangle, triangle, R1, right stick up, and circle. The reason being is I like playing this defense is because this B guy right here that we're manning up, this guy right here, is usually accustomed to playmaker. If not, if he's going to once in a while, he's going to run mesh post, and at the end of the day, you know, that's going to be a post route, so that's not going to beat man anyway, as long as you have someone good there. But usually this is the playmaker guy. You know, if people are running dig HB out, that's going to be the guy on the drag on the playmaker. You go ahead and, you know, just lurk the post route up in here. I like to use her right up here immediately. If it's corner strike, he's going to go ahead and use the corner. So honestly, once in a while, I like to go ahead and like 3rd down and 1. If I'm giving up the flat a lot, I like to go ahead and hit him with a hard flat maybe once in a while. But as you guys can see, I like to do this. And this is just one of my first looks. I like to do this just because, like I said, we have 91 zone everywhere, so you're going to be able to play good defense. And if you man people up, and if you have good shedders, you'll be able to get some sacks. And you have the spy just in case you're going to go ahead and, you know, go against someone like Mike Vick. I'll even move my safety down a little bit just because of the deep half. He can't beat you deep. But the first thing you have to do is you guys have to deep half at the end of the day. Because people just want to beat you deep. They're going to run the corner strike in the bunch trail. And if you go ahead and deep half, it's going to be easy pick. And it looks like it's still open, but it's not. The second thing I like to do is go ahead and I like to mix in DB fire. I'm going to show you guys the adjustments, and I like to bring this like on 2nd or 3rd down, kind of like 3rd down and 1, and the reason being is because it's a cover 2. So automatically those flats are going to play really, really good. So what I'm doing right now is I baselined, I pressed, I'm going to shade down, which is triangle, right stick down, and I'm going to go ahead and cloud flat both of my corners anyway. So that's triangle, triangle, circle, left stick down, triangle, triangle, square. Left stick down. As you guys can see, you're sending 5. It's a good blitz. This vert hook with 91 zone is going to play any drag. So honestly, the first thing I'm looking for is a seam streak. If there's no seam streak, I'm looking back to X, and if not, everything else is good. If you have a good corner on this left side of the field, once in a while, what I like to do here is actually like to man him up one-on-one and just have him one-on-one on the outside, like a Marshawn Lattimore, so he can use her, not use her, but he can stop dig HB out and maybe even PA post. And the only thing you guys have to worry about is you have to remember that when they're running this, that if you run the cover 2, make sure your opponent's not running a lot of PA post. The reason being is because there's a cloud flat glitch. He'll be inside a lot more. He'll throw that a lot, and it's going to get open every single time. The third defense that I like to run to go ahead and switch it up, and this is like a heat. Like you have to get there immediately. You know what I mean? Something that I like to use on like 3rd and 4th downs, I would feel like is basically like a bleacher blitz, but it's not just a bleacher blitz. You send the whole entire crew. Those 3rd down and 21s, 4th down and 21s, you give them the ability to go ahead and hit an out route or an in route, and you can't let that up. At the end of the day, it's big plays in the game. You know what I mean? So what I like to do is I like to deep half, and I like to send both corners out corner strike. And when I like to send both corners at crossfire, and what I like to do is literally send the house and user this guy and shoot this gap. As you guys can see, the computer is going to quick hike it, so it's going to throw the corner strike. but I like to go ahead and get as much pressure as I possibly can on the 3rd and 4th down, just because you don't want to give a guy any type of time. If you give him too much time in the pocket, you'll go ahead and throw an out route, an in route, throw it up to Moss. You don't want to give him that much time in the pocket, so I definitely like to go ahead and mix that in. Another thing that I like to do is I like to run spinner. The way you want to run spinner though, and you want to tell him that you're running spinner. That's something that I like to do, because sometimes I mess around with the adjustments. He may start trying to put man beaters out and stuff like that, and you go ahead and switch it up. But what I like to do is I literally like to man align and press. So that's Y, R1, and then you're going to press here. And as you can see, most of the guys are going to go ahead and get pressed. This guy's going to be cross man, so no matter what, he can't go ahead and burn you deep. And sometimes I like to hard flat this dude once in a while. But basically, you're sending 5, you can crash right here, you can QB contain, you get some pressure. And the only thing I'm really watching in this corner strike, I'm just watching the right, because that hard flat once in a while will play the C route, worst case scenario. But I do like to run that defense a lot. So really the big thing about playing bunch, and I'd say any type of bunch, even if it's weekend league, is playing super, super, super conservative, making sure that you just don't let them beat you deep. Let them get the dump downs, the 4 or 5 yard drags. You may be able to get a fumble, you may be able to get a strip. So that's what I usually like to do for some of the best players. So I come on immediately, and this is my favorite base defense. Reason being is you can do so much with it. Sometimes you can go ahead and hard flat him, and this hook curl right here will play the middle of the field and it'll lurk all the post routes, you know what I mean? Or once in a while you can back him up here, you can deep hat, you have to deep hat both guys, you can get goofy, you can man this guy up here and put this guy in the deep blue. There's so much stuff that I like to do at this cover 3. The reason being is because if you're sending 3 and it's weekend league and you have a good D-line, everyone knows that plays weekend league, a good D-line is going to eat. And if you have 691 zones, everyone on the field is really, really good. They're going to jump almost every single round of the game. So that's why I like it so much. But the big thing, I'd say the number one thing, if you guys are writing down any notes or I'm just telling you in general, if you guys want to say anything, the first thing, if you guys are asking, Joel, first thing, you have to deep half. You have to deep half. That's the first thing every single time, no matter what. Second of all, do not get mad if they're getting 3 to 4 yards. At the end of the day, you want to get bunch in the red zone so they can go ahead and shut down every single run that they have. They only have a sweep, sometimes a base, and maybe a draw. So you want to make sure just go ahead and stand like right here, and depending on what run, if it's a draw, you shoot the gap here. If it's a sweep, whatever, and you'll go ahead and lock that up. That's simple. But you want to keep bunch into the red zone because they don't have really any good red zone routes or any good runs. And unless they're in West Coast where they're going to go to near, then you're fine with that over bunch any single day of the week. Another thing I would say is watch the playmaker. That's why I like to man up a lot. For example, if someone runs Pat Sale, you can go ahead and man this dude up and use the Pat Sale, and he's going to go ahead and stop that playmaker every single time. I like it. It's easy. It's simple. You know what I mean? Or if someone's running dig HB out too much, you put like Deion Sanders, you put it right there, and you make sure your deep half and everything else is dead for the most part. Mesh post is going to be dead because this square route is going to go on a drag, and he's looking for the drag concept, and you go ahead and just use the post. So I would say, to be completely honest, to play bunch, to play some of the best players, just be super patient. Give them any type of drag you possibly can. Make them grind down the field, because at some point you have to realize you're playing weekend. You're not playing skimmer. You're not playing kid. You're not going to play goes. They're going to go ahead and make a mistake. They're going to throw a pick at you, especially with 91 zone. You know how wild it is. I would say one thing that you shouldn't do is you should never, well, not never, but like when you're running the normal cover 3, don't ever go hard flats. You're not going to get any pressure, so there's no point in going hard flats. You're just going to let them go ahead and C-route you to death. But hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully you guys go ahead and drop some suggestions. More videos should be coming out today, man. I'm going to keep going with the series with Clef. I need to start posting my losses. I can't find those, which is funny because I'm actually been losing to them a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and post those, maybe even a couple of breakdowns. But I'm thinking about posting a YouTube schedule. I don't know exactly how I do it, but like maybe a tip on Friday and like gameplay on Wednesday or something like that. And then like a 5 to 15. So whatever you guys want to go ahead and suggest, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. And thank you guys so much for the support. I'm going to keep grinding for you guys. I'm out. Peace.